Hello people, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host. Yeah, and hey look, the intro's here at the desk. Look, I know a lot of you want the wall, there it is, and I will return, and I do return to the wall, people. I really do sometimes. At the moment I'm at the desk. Hey, welcome. Today we're talking about Chelsea-Tottenham related stories. Ooh, and boy, are we. This is a Chelsea news story. We're talking about Thomas Tuchel's comments about Harry Kane and maybe Antonio Rudiger. Looking at The Guardian for a little bit of that, but also I want to talk about the icy relationship between Chelsea and Tottenham, and notably as well between Daniel Levy and Marina Granovskaia, of course, the head chief of Chelsea Football Club, the most powerful woman in football, of course. So welcome on in to Football Therapy. Hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Consider subscribing if you want to show some sweet love. Consider dropping a like on this video, see if we can get a bunch of likes, shall we? 3,000 likes, can we do that? You're always welcome to follow me on Instagram at FootballYannick for exclusive and sensational nudes. They are there somewhere, you just gotta dig down deep. You gotta dig down deep. Alright then, everyone comfortable? Sitting comfortably? Let's get into it. We'll start here today on The Guardian, talking about Thomas Tuchel talking down, lots of alliteration there, reports that Chelsea tried to sign Hazard.
Yeah, obviously, I'd like to join Chelsea rather than Tottenham, yeah? So Tottenham scores goals with Chelsea, much more likely to win trophies, no?
Yeah, not my finest Harry Kane impression, but I only pull it out for the videos. Let's have a look what this article is saying. Thomas Tuchel has said that he was not scared about the possibility of Harry Kane joining Manchester City and has played down suggestions that Chelsea were in the running to sign the Tottenham forward. First of all, I personally, I'm not speaking for Tuchel, but I certainly was scared about Man City signing Harry Kane. Chelsea, who strengthened their attack by signing Romelu Lukaku from Internazionale for £97.5 million. Whew. Worth every penny though, looking like a bargain. Were always an unlikely destination for Kane because of their intense rivalry with Spurs. True. City were pushing hardest to sign the England captain in the summer, and Tuchel said he would have been interested to see how the 28-year-old would have fared with Pep Guardiola. At this point, it's worth mentioning that Chelsea had apparently made inquiries for Harry Kane, as they would. They wanted an elite striker. He wanted out of Tottenham. Guess it made sense. So there's that. Yeah, he would have been interested to see how he fared under Guardiola. Quote, I thought that this is going to happen, as many of us did, by the way. Chelsea's manager said, I was not scared, but if it would have happened, I would have been very interested to see how maybe it would have changed Manchester City's style of playing. Good point, because of course, they play very systemic, loads of cutbacks, loads of combinational play in the final third that generally doesn't sort of played too well with a number 9, or it doesn't. It's more false 9 business, which I guess Harry Kane does. But really, Harry Kane doesn't play like a false 9. He plays like a number 10 and then runs in later, which is interesting. It is systemically and tactically, it is different to what City do. We are not afraid of anyone. That's good. We accept any team, and Manchester City, Man United, and Liverpool. They are teams strong like no other in this league. And they have strong squads, true Thomas. These are the guys with whom we want to compete, and it's normal that they fight for the best players. Tuchel said that he was glad Kane said at Spurs, who host Chelsea on Sunday, quote, it's also nice that it exists in football that players play for one club only, he said. When I think about Tottenham in the last decade, you think of Harry Kane, and this is very nice. I believe he also said the same about, in this quote, that's not listed here on The Guardian, but he said the same about Lionel Messi in Barcelona. Like, you think of Barcelona, you think of Lionel Messi. Except now he's at PSG. Tuchel, who in May had raised the possibility of signing Kane, said he never asked the Chelsea director Marina Granovskaia to move for the striker. Quote, we never had a list with his name on it, and I never went to Marina to tell her to buy him, he said. But the club sorted out the situation. There are many people around players, their agents and advisors, and people in between, and we had some information from these people, but it was never that close that we had to experience the rivalry. We know about the rivalry. So Chelsea had made an inquiry, or there were people making inquiries, feeling out the situation for Harry Kane. But it wasn't I don't think Tuchel was in a position to go to Marina, go buy me Harry Kane, I've won you the Champions League, bring me Harry Kane. Not that he talks like that, of course. I think there was an understanding, probably conversations that, yes, we want, I think we need a striker here, and everyone sort of nodded their heads, shook hands, and they were like, we'll go find you one. And they did. And big Romelu Lukaku, not only does he fit the bill in terms of player profile, in terms of elite goal-scoring ability, but there's the sort of course, there's the narrative there, isn't there? The sort of homecoming, the love for Chelsea. You would absolutely not get that, of course,
with Harry Kane.
That would not have happened. So, ultimately good. And of course, it would have cost more money. And of course, he talks about Antonio Rudiger here. He said he'd hoped Rudiger would not leave Chelsea on a free transfer next summer. The German defender is in the final year of his contract, and he stalled over accepting Chelsea's offer of an extension, which, of course, something I reported on yesterday, I believe. Reportedly £140,000 a week, which is a 40k a week increase from his 100k a week. It was reported that he wants 200k a week, and knows he could easily get that, of course, if he waits for a free transfer. But I think he wants to stay at Chelsea because Chelsea is very good, and Chelsea are the champions of Europe. Hey, why wouldn't you want to stay with Chelsea? Rudiger, who has been targeted by Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, can negotiate a pre-contract agreement with a foreign club in January. Ooh la la, quote from Tuchel, I hope they find solutions. But it is not only between the coaches and the players, and what we wish for, Tuchel said, it's between the club, the players, the agent at the moment. Yeah, okay, so Tuchel did speak about this quite a lot in the presser. For a guy who doesn't speak that much about certain things and is quite a politician, he's good at this kind of stuff. Or he's diplomatic, he's quite, emotionally attentive, I think. He thinks about things, not to upset people, but he is quite, Rudiger, sign him up, basically. That's me shaving off all the other words he says, but he's essentially said, come on, we don't have another player to play that left centre back role anywhere near as good as Rudiger. He plays all the time. He's fit all the time. He adds that extra dynamic, and if we had to replace him, it would just cost loads of money anyway. We'd end up paying the same wages as he wants probably for that level of elite player. Plus, we'd end up paying £50 million fee plus these days in this peculiar market. So, add it all together, it seems like a bit of a no-brainer. But if you want my full, detailed opinion on the Antonio Rudiger situation, I would urge you to go check out my video yesterday, because I speak about it from, I guess, the club's perspective of a guy who's going to turn 30 very soon. Do you want to sign him on, say, a 4 or 5 year deal on 200k a week? And it'll be 34 years old, earning 200k a week. That you got to be very, very careful of. So maybe they'd probably offer him for 200k a week, you can have 3 years, and then we'll give you a year extensions after that. But if you want a 4 year deal, 5 year deal, Chelsea are probably reluctant to pay him that money. Let's switch over to the Express now. And talk about the frosty relationship between Marina Granovskaia and, of course, with Tottenham's Daniel Levy. Both strong characters, both tough negotiators. I'd argue Marina is more successful than Levy, purely on the premise of we always make really good money on our sales. And I suppose Tottenham do as well, Gareth Bale, Modric and stuff. But I don't know, Marina in recent years has just been such a fierce and successful negotiator that she, and Chelsea are winning trophies, of course. I don't know if that's down to Daniel Levy or not, but anyway, we're gonna check out this article here by Alex Milne. Let's see what's saying. Hey, look, I thought that was the guy from El Chigurito, or that show is. Okay, I digress. Sunday sees the two of the fiercest rivals in England go head-to-head as Tottenham host Chelsea in the Premier League. The London-based clubs have had a number of heated battles in recent years, and this weekend's clash could be a tasty once again as both sides look to get one on over each other. Of course, there's the Battle of the Bridge, which is a historic battle in their football match. And that was a lot of fighting there. Tottenham have started well, but then dipped a little bit. Harry Kane's yet to score a goal, and he's looking rather frustrated. You can imagine it's going to kick off at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The bitter feeling between the two is not just limited on the pitch, with Spurs and Chelsea having done battle in the transfer market on a number of occasions. Perhaps the most memorable of this was the time that Willian completed a medical at Spurs in 2013 for the Blues to steal him under their noses right at the death. Apparently, there's the story of he was actually on the medical bed or bench or whatever. I don't know how true that is. He got the call from the Chelsea. You know what the song goes. He hates Tottenham and he saw the light and all that. Tottenham were very, very miffed about that. There was also bad blood when Chelsea tried to pry Luka Modric away from Spurs in 2011. Only for the North Londoners to hold firm and insist they would not sell to their cross-city enemy, the protagonist of many of these transfer sagas. Behind the scenes have been Chelsea director Marina Granovskaia and Spurs chairman Daniel Levy on the Luka Modric situation. I don't know how many of you guys know about that story. Of course, an amazing player, went on to Real Madrid, very, very successful. He really wanted to join Chelsea. So he was pushing for Chelsea. They wouldn't let him go. And then they ended up selling him for less money, I think, to Real Madrid than they would have sold him to Chelsea for, just because they didn't want to, sell to Chelsea. According to The Athletic, the duo did not actually see eye to eye. Funny that. They claimed that the pair had developed a frosty relationship down the years and would only ever communicate via email rather than face to face or over the phone. Sounds pretty petty, really, doesn't it? They add that they would be highly unlikely that the two would be making small talk at the Sunday's match. With one source, I'm not sure Marina would go, to be honest, with one source adding, "What you have in two people with Marina and Daniel, who are particularly tough, if you had the two of them negotiating, I don't think anyone would know which way it's going to go." Yeah, I think because they always want to have the last laugh, and they've got that prerequisite mentality before the actual deal, if they think they're getting a deal. I think they'd be more interested in feeling like they've got one over the other one, rather than just getting a deal done that they need, or they need the money. And that's just me speculating, but that's, seemingly the case. Chelsea will be the strong favourites for the game. The Blues boss Thomas Tuchel said he was looking forward to the encounter. Quote, "It's always a good time to play Tottenham because it's a big match and a big rivalry," he said. "It's one of the matches you want to play. We had a recovery day and yesterday, now 2 training sessions. Excuse me. It's good for us. It is an advantage." Nuno Espirito Santo, meanwhile, seemed downbeat on his chance following that injury crisis. The Portuguese manager said, "It's been terrible. I must be honest, let's not hide behind anything. After the Watford game, everything has happened. It's not been very good for us. But this is football, and we know it's a moment we must overcome. Today, we tried to show the players solutions, thinking about the game on Sunday, but it is about overcoming obstacles." And of course, that's the battle I think that's the battle of the bridge right there in that picture. Look. So Chelsea have an advantage in this game because they've got 2 days extra rest. And you can't, sweep that under the rug. But really, it's a London derby. It's away. It's in front of the Spurs fans who will want a performance with their new manager against the Chelsea, who, of course, champions of Europe, and it would be a really big result for them if they managed to execute a win. Harry Kane yet to score this season. He'll be absolutely gagging to do that against Chelsea. He will be gagging to do that against Chelsea. He might get a card, there might be a few fights. Højbjerg in the midfield. Hopefully, as long as we can keep our calm, because we believe in our systemic football, we should win. I think it'll be a tight affair. Of course, I've done a match preview and I built a lineup yesterday. But I wanted to do a video today to reflect on these articles and talk about the relationship between Chelsea and Tottenham. Perhaps Chelsea looking to buy Harry Kane was unlikely to happen, but also the fierce tension between Marina Granovskaia and Daniel Levy, as both are probably similar characters in many ways. Anyway, I thought it was interesting, so I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully you guys found it interesting too. If you did, drop a like. It helps me out a lot. See if we can hit that 3,000 likes. Consider subbing if you're new. And yeah, man, keep it locked. I'll be uploading quite a lot all the time, and on my other channel, Football Yannick, as well, which you're welcome to go and subscribe to. Link in the description. And yeah, I think that's probably it, guys. So enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
Way so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living. I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines. I rap through thought. Body bag the verse. Outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double, silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.